So last week I made a summer pasta that was so delicious. Our whole family loved it. You guys asked me to recreate it for EyeSwoon Unplugged. We've got bucatini, we've got a duo of summer squash. I'm gonna add some lemon zest, some creamy goat cheese, and I'm gonna take you through that process right now. So I'm using a mandolin to cut the squash into these strips. Of course, if you don't have a mandolin, you could easily use a knife. This does not need to be super perfected. All right, I'm gonna take that squash, I'm gonna stack about 4 of them and kind of cut it into thinner ribbons. So you'll see, they do not need to be perfect. So I have these ribbons that are gonna work so beautifully with the bucatini that I have here. So it'll be able to twirl together when you're eating your pasta. Gone ahead and peeled my shallots and my garlic. The garlic was like a gargantuan clove, so I'm only gonna use 3. And if you don't have shallots, you could just add more garlic. If you don't have garlic, you could just use shallots. You could even use red onion or white onion. I think as long as you have an allium, which is any type of onion or garlic to add to whatever you want to flavor, our case would be the squash, you're good. I always like to take the back of my knife and smash my garlic a little bit. I'm just gonna give them a rough chop. I think one of the reasons I love these Unplugged series so much is because I get really excited when I learn things to help me be a better cook in my kitchen, and it gets me excited to kind of share those things together with you. And one of those things is definitely how to make your life easier when you're prepping a meal and making sure you go through every single step to prep everything in advance so that when you're cooking, everything is already ready. It's basically what fancy chefs call mise en place, which is like having everything pre-prepped and in its place. And that's what I'm doing right now. I am going to use a jalapeno because I really like heat in my pasta. I know jalapeno seems a little bit odd, but I really like the flavors with the lemon. But you can certainly eliminate this. But I am gonna cut half of a jalapeno. I removed the pits because that is what has the most heat in it. And then I cut the half into vertical strips. And now I'm just gonna cut through those vertical strips so I got little cubes. So I'm gonna take a couple of these bigger leaves, maybe 5, pile them on top of one another, and then I'm gonna kind of roll it like a little cigar. Just like I did to the lemon, I'm gonna cut it into these super thin strips. I'm gonna add my garlic and my shallots to the hot oil. Saute these until they get nice and translucent. You don't want them to get brown. I let these sit for around 2 minutes max. I'm gonna let this saute for about 1 minute more. Because this pasta does not necessarily have a sauce per se, always kind of be flexible with what a recipe tells you about how much oil is needed, because I kind of feel like these are looking a little bit dry, even though I thought earlier I had a lot of oil. So I'm going to add a little bit more to moisten them. I'm going to allow them to wilt and soften a little, and then at that point I'm going to season with salt and pepper. Some kosher salt. Nice hearty pinch. You want to make sure that the zucchini has a lot of flavor. So seasoning as you go is really important. I'm going to take a jar of this amazing cheese. You'd think I had a partnership with them because I use it so much. So the reason I love it is because it is sitting in this amazing olive oil that has peppercorns and some garlic and some herbs. Okay, so I'm gonna take all of the cubes. I'm gonna take 2 lemons and I'm going to add the juice from 2 lemons right now. By the way, guys, how about a black lemon press? It always drove me crazy that in America, all of the lemon presses are yellow. It's just so silly and dumbed down. And I found this amazing one in Paris. And it's just super chic. I feel like kitchen tools are often so ugly. Should I do my own line of kitchen tools, guys? What do you think? I'm gonna start with just 2. And I'm literally just gonna smash it with the back of a fork because I want it to just become super silky and creamy. Can we just talk for a minute of how amazing this skylight is? It completely changed my kitchen game here and I'm against it. Because whenever I used to cook for you guys, there was like this weird, dark, kind of greenish hue that was picking up from the grass just outside the doors. And now we have light. I'm gonna put my pasta in. I'm gonna do a pound of bucatini. I already have the water boiling and salted. I'm gonna drop them in. 1, 2, 3. So this is kind of like riffing off of the carbonara, I guess, a little bit. Make sure you get it to a beautifully creamy consistency. Turn the zucchini back on. I'm gonna keep it on low. Pull the pasta into the zucchini and squash. Ugh, this smells so good. I'm gonna take some pasta water, probably about a half a cup, and I'm gonna add it straight to my pasta. Okay, I have my cheese, and what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of that hot water and add it to the cheese. So it's tempering the cheese so it's not super cold when I add it to the pasta. And you wanna constantly stir as you're adding it, again, so it doesn't curdle. I'm gonna take our lemon bits, just give it a sprinkle, and then that beautiful basil chiffonade. Maybe just a little bit of sea salt, and then some fresh cracked pepper. And there you have it.